Now, for the first time in nearly 5 years, Egypt's president has announced the end of a years-long state of emergency. The measure had been in place since April 2017, when 2 Coptic churches were bombed by ISIS, killing more than 40 people. Critics of President al-Sisi says he used the law to crush dissent. Well, for more, we're joined by Dr. Marwa Maziad from the Defence and Security Programme of the Middle East Institute in Washington. Thank you very much for being with us. So why has al-Sisi made this change now?
I think because he wants to announce to the world the 3 items he described Egypt with: safe, secure, and stable. The idea of differentiating Egypt from other countries in the region where the security situation actually is very much more dire than what Egypt experiencing now, and compared to 5 years ago, when actually Egypt was indeed targeted by quite frequent terrorism attacks from ISIS and other militant Islamist groups that are regionally financed, or at least were at the time. And now it's a change of situation. So an emergency situation is out because it's a different situation. I think that's signaling to the world that it's his success in a sense.
What will change, though, for ordinary Egyptians?
I think it's very important to highlight that this is not really about ordinary Egyptians. I think it's about international relations. It's about conversing with the regional powers that were behind Islamist trends in the region at large, and I've written about that. Turkey, Qatar, who were pro-Muslim Brotherhood, pro-Islamist in different variations, pro-mercenary jihadists, as opposed to Egypt, UAE, and even Saudi Arabia that joined that camp. So it's signaling to the region and the international community that the phase where emergency was the problem and terrorism was the problem has ended. So it's a conversation to the outside world. Domestically, it might change a few things in terms of a sense of freedom of expression, because if you don't have the law that would support arresting and harassing people if they just gather together 5 people or more, then you feel more free to express, more free to criticize, more free to associate without the fear of the evocation of this law under emergency situation. So I think it will affect the overall atmosphere domestically, but I think over and above, it's an international conversation.
So essentially, President al-Sisi is declaring victory over ISIS. Is ISIS no longer active in Egypt? Are minorities such as the Coptic Christians safe today in Egypt?
I would say ISIS has been, if not vanquished and kind of won over for the past 4 years since really Trump declared that victory. I think international terrorism has to do with the financing of some states towards these groups anyway, or enabling them to export their oil, what we saw in Syria and the Turkish border. All of these episodes of the 2014, 15, 16, all of that is behind us. And therefore, I think it's no longer the threat it used to be. So it's a recognition of that.